Okay, so do you like this club? And I'm not talking about the Titleist TSI, I'm talking about the driver. This for me is the favourite club in the bag. It's the most important club in the bag. It sets a precedent for the hole, gets the ball down the fairway or just in play and helps us get away from those absolute card wreckers. So is this club for you a problem or a massive advantage on maybe your playing partners or your friends? Comment below, what are your thoughts on your driver? Because for me recently, I feel like I've got better and better with it, which I haven't been massively working hard on my swing, but I have been making a couple of little tweaks, and in doing so, I've got faster. I was always around 113 to 114 swing speed. I'm now at 117. And I noticed that yesterday on TrackMan when I was hitting balls. I was like, oh, why has it got faster? But I have made some changes. I've made some better movements in my swing. I've made some improvements in the way I'm delivering the club to the ball. I'm a little bit more neutral. So therefore, being more neutral, I'm less manipulative with my hands. And by being less manipulative, I'm able to work my body better to rotate through the ball. There's a lot that gets said about flash speed, which is the speed of the hands as they release the club into the ball. And that is a huge aspect of being able to get some club head speed and hit the ball further on the driver, but then it does come with a balance point because the body's still going to provide a lot of power in the swing. So I'm going to give you 3 ways in this video how you can get faster to hit the ball further without compromising direction. Okay, so the first thing and one of the most important things is don't measure your shot until you're at a hole downwind like I'm on now. So, no, okay, that aside, looking at speed, how do we get more speed? Now, a lot of it will come in the transition, okay? Now, we need to make a good transition so the body can rotate, so we can use the ground. A lot of the power comes from the ground. Imagine if you're throwing a ball. If I throw a ball at this camera as fast as I possibly can, I will step, I'll plant my feet, the energy will come up my legs, and I'll rotate and I'll release the ball. Now imagine that on a golf swing. I'm going to get to the top of my backswing, I'm going to squat into my front leg, I'm going to get some tension through my left side, and then I'm going to rotate up through the ball. So that's going to give me loads and loads of energy up my body and rotate. So that's a really dynamic way of adding speed. I want to be able to get to the top, get that little squat going into there, and then rotate. Now, a big one is if you feel like you're physically incapable of doing that, or you feel like you've got restrictions, or you've got left hip problems, or you're just not overly versatile, which feel your pain, I'm starting to get there as well myself. Injuries are a big prevention on this. What I like to do is open up this left foot so the hips can work a lot easier through the ball. Now, even if you do have hip problems or you've got lower back flexibility issues, which is a key one in golf, and it's a key one just for general life, we've all got hindrances in the back. So old age, we're getting there. So as you're coming back down, always try and feel is if you just stick your backside out more. Feel like the backside goes outside of your heels, and when it does so, outside of your heels, and then just rotate everything through, okay? So once you get to there, squat, and then rotate. Now, the feedback I get from a lot of clients is when they do that squat, they feel like they're just gonna hit down. Now, and they're right, you absolutely would do. You get to the top, you squat, you hit down. You've gotta make sure you get that rotation in there as well. So you get the squat, and then you rotate. Now in the follow through position, you'll notice the lead leg gets nice and straight on the way through, okay? So this is a key one, making sure the lead leg gets nice and straight on the way through. So you've squatted into it and your energy's come up it. Now, once the energy is coming up the lead leg, it makes it easier physically for your hips to rotate. Nobody can rotate around a bent left knee. So we need to straighten it out so you can continue to rotate. That is massively important to help you add speed in your turn and even just general physical ability to rotate. So once I set up, I'm gonna get that little squat, and then we're gonna rotate. I'm gonna try and work up through my left knee and up into a straight position. So I get up to the top of the backswing. Oh yes, fly ball. Downwind, staying up in the air for an eternity. Decent rotation through the shot, terrible aim. Decent rotation through the shot, squatted into the position, and then rotated through. Now again, your own feedback from this is you're not really squatting. I don't know if you see that, once you see that swing in slow motion, I'm not exactly down here. It's getting to the top here, and it's just dropping the lower body down a little bit. Now, what else does that do that's gonna help my golf swing? And what it does is it actually helps me maintain swing path, because one of the key faults that we see a lot in the golf swing is a spin. Just get to the top, spin left. Whereas if you get to the top and just feel that little squat down, the arms are also going to follow. So the arms drop down with the spin, with the squat, and then you rotate. The common fault is we get to here, right hip goes forward, right knee goes forward. As a result of doing so, right shoulder is going to come forward. So as we start to drop into the legs, the point number 2 is making sure that we can control path. If we can control path and keep it neutral, I'm not even talking inside, it can be ever so slightly outside, ever so slightly inside. If we can control the path, then we're going to be able to rotate more easily through the ball. So the tip number 2 does come down to rotation, but it's the ability to rotate as well. So getting the club into a good path and then adding the rotation from there. Oh, that was a bit thin. So point number 3 on this video for hitting the ball further than ever is angle of attack. So the angle of attack is when the club descends down or up into the golf ball. When you're chipping, we often talk about hitting down on the ball to hit up in the air to create backspin. When you're hitting a 7-iron, we're trying to compress and we're trying to hit down on the ball to create height and to create a bit of stop once the ball lands. So all of those points around compressing and hitting down on the ball are to create backspin. We do not want to do that on the drive. We don't want to create backspin. We want to be able to hit up on the ball, leaving the body to the side of the ball and letting the club land before it gets to the ball and hits up on the ball. So the one thing I would say is imagine, obviously the ball position's further forward in the stance. Imagine the club lands in the middle of your stance. You've got to the top, you've squatted down, you've got the energy in your legs, you've got the transition with the arms. Now you're gonna let the club just kind of brush its low point to the middle of the stance. So then by the time it gets to the ball, it's starting to work upwards. So we've got all the energy from the squat, we've got the power in the rotation from the transition, and now we've got the angle of attack reducing the spin. Just like that, that's gone miles. Okay, so able to there hit 2 out of 3 very good shots, good strikes. That one hit the ball up, launched it high. Because I've got more speed, because I've got more energy, more power, I've added more distance on those shots. The issue that we see a lot is when the swing is forward, it spins. As I said before, the right hip, the right shoulder moves forward. As a result of that, the club gets slightly outside. Even if it doesn't get slightly outside, it gets to this point where it's more inside or neutral, it's still more likely to hit down on the ball because the body has moved and dragged the handle of the club to the left, which is what we don't want. We want to stay back, we want to rotate, and we want to let the club release through impact, okay? So these are the key points. At the top of the backswing, we're going to squat, transition, hit up. Oh, that was the best one yet. That was so ripped. Oh, it's gone long as well. I've cleared that bunker. Whoa, that bunker's actually about 280. I've just carried it. It's like, beast mode activated. Right, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Do jump in the comments below. What's your driving like? Do you need more? Well, I was gonna say, do you need more distance? But the answer is always going to be yes, regardless of whether they're Bryson DeChambeau or a complete beginner. So yes, we always want more distance. We need to be able to swing within our means to get it. If you're happy with your own current distance, then look for other areas of your game to improve on to lower those scores. But in the meantime, loads of tips coming from the beautiful Jumeirah Golf Estates. Content coming very, very soon with Matt Fryer, Peter Finch, and also from the Abu Dhabi Championship as well. I'm playing in the Pro-Am, so look out for all that content. So please do subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, videos coming out 3 times a week, and also follow me on my social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. There you go. Guys, I've given you a couple of little jobs to do there within this 10-minute video. So please do take care, and I'll see you all again very soon.